Some things never change, but it's safe to say some things should. From a rotary phone to a cell phone and a horse-drawn plow to the amazing technology in your tractors today. Just like your operation, Landus Cooperative is certainly not your grandparents' cooperative. CEO Matt Carstens spoke with the state of soy on how vital technology is to serving farmers, especially during a global pandemic. From increasing technology to working to secure data for farmers, Carstens shares the latest from Landus Cooperative.
Without a doubt, being new to Landus here over the last 4 months now, it was an interesting time to start. I got 3 days where I could interact with our employees and even some of our farmer owners, and then COVID hits and we kind of all go into a form of lockdown amongst the spring season that was hitting right at the same time. So it wasn't the dream start, however, because of today's technology and the ability that we had as a company to pivot, like many, including Iowa Soybean, and the abilities to talk to the farmers through our customer portal, through the technologies that we all have, the apps. It really hasn't been quite the drawback that one would think. Although still not ideal, we're glad where we're at and continuing to move forward. There's no doubt agriculture is in a tough period of time. When you look at commodity prices, soybean prices, even livestock. But if you think back in time, it's almost been a distant memory, as I chuckle saying that, but we were in the middle of some trade issues and challenges as this whole thing started, and some of that's starting to come back around. And this trough that we're in is, I believe, going to make us better and look at things differently as we all lean into the future and try to understand what does the future look like for soybeans in the way of biodiesel and other uses of soybeans as an example. So I like to look at this as, I think this is a great opportunity for us to come together and really think about the challenges that we're seeing and look into that future and go, now what do we need to do? And then no better time than it is right now for Iowa Soybean Association and Landus to come together and help guide our farmer owners together in a way that's profitable for them, helping them secure a profitable spot in that supply chain and even expand that. As I think about lessons learned through this most recent time period, first and foremost is the value of data and technology. This has become a data-driven world centered around how we turn the power on to technology, how we take all the data that is a farmer's and secure it in a way they can trust and feel comfortable with, but then use it. We've got to turn the power on that data to talk to that end consumer in a way that they understand and trust. The transparency is what's at stake here, and I think our future absolutely runs through data as we look to that. But then I don't want to leave out the technology part. We're learning about how important technology is because you just never know when COVID hits and it decreases the amount of diesel fuel being used or food being consumed in the way that we think of it, like high oleic soybeans and the oil that produces in a way that's good for the restaurants. When people aren't going to restaurants, that's kind of a problem. So how do we learn from that and adjust and know that what we see today doesn't mean it'll be here in that way, shape, or form tomorrow? I like to say at Landus, this isn't your grandparents' cooperative. We must change with the time, and that's centered around data and particularly technology. Because right now, if you're a farmer, there is so much coming at you, this, that, other, in the way of technology. We've got to think about data from the way of the farmer like we all do as citizens, like we do our bank account. That's a really sensitive topic. So how we as a cooperative help steward that, protect it, and even find ways to add value to that farmer's data. I believe our future in data could be where that is worth more, or at least more valuable than the commodities that a farmer produces. We may be a few years away from that, but there's no doubt as we look around a corner, you can see where this is going through other industries and even the key industries we play in as agriculture and food and energy, particularly fuels.